The invitation. Captain Eric Morgan stood motionless on the bridge of the Earth Fleet vessel Defiance, the harsh glow of the command screen reflecting in his eyes. He reread the message a third time, trying to make sense of it. "We are to disengage all stealth systems and begin immediate location broadcasting at full strength," he said aloud. Lieutenant Susan Wright turned from her console, her dark eyes wide. "Sir, that's against every engagement protocol." "I know," Eric replied, voice tight. "But these orders come from Admiral Collins himself." Commander Jack Powell approached with a frown. "This feels like a trap. Either we're being sacrificed, or we're the bait." "Maybe both," Eric muttered. 6 hours from the disputed Exalian border, Defiance cruised through the star-specked void with a grace built by decades of engineering and wartime refinement. Its dark hull, scarred in places, bore the marks of past campaigns. But today, it was visible for all to see. "All stealth systems disabled," Susan confirmed. "We're practically a beacon." "Let them see," Eric said. "If Protocol Lighthouse works, we'll make history. If not..." He didn't finish the thought. In his quarters 10 minutes later, Eric activated the secure channel. The face of Admiral Peter Collins appeared, unreadable. "You have questions, Captain?" "Yes, sir. This mission is classified at the highest level. You are to proceed without stealth, announce your position, and wait." "Sir, my crew deserves to know why." Collins leaned forward. "The Exalians think we're weak. This will change that. Your ship has systems they don't know about, installed last refit. Even you weren't told. It's called Protocol Lighthouse. What does it do? Something they're not expecting. That's not good enough. Then make it good enough." The channel closed. Back on the bridge, tension grew as Defiance crossed into the neutral zone. Soon after, Daniel Grant, communications officer, sat up straight. "Sir, alien chatter detected. 3 ships approaching. Scouts." "Yellow alert," Eric said. "No weapons. No moves. Let them come." Below deck, Chief Engineer Kelly Martinez frowned at strange power spikes in the auxiliary grid. Buried deep in a maintenance panel, she found unfamiliar circuits glowing with a steady pulse. "What the hell?" "Captain, you need to see this," she said over comms. Moments later, Eric stood over the panel. "What is it?" "I don't know. But it activated the moment we started broadcasting. And it's pulling power. A lot of it." "Keep it quiet," Eric said. "Run passive scans. Report everything." When he returned to the bridge, Daniel turned. "Sir, alien scouts are watching us. They're forming a containment pattern. Let them." On the main screen, an Exalian officer appeared. Tall, insectoid, and armored in living chitin, it sneered with visible disdain. "Human vessel. You have entered disputed territory. Explain." "This is Captain Eric Morgan of the Defiance. We are searching for lost research ships. While broadcasting your location like prey," the Exalian mocked. "We have nothing to hide," Eric replied. "Then you will not object to a visit. Our commander wishes to speak. We'll be waiting." As the screen faded, Susan looked over. "Sir, the battle group is moving into range." Jack leaned in. "They're coming for us." "Then it's almost time," Eric said, sitting in his chair. His fingers hovered over the new control panel, one that hadn't been there a week ago. Protocol Lighthouse was ready. And soon, the galaxy would learn why humans never hid from a fight. The scan. Fleet Commander Zakvash stood imposingly on the bridge of the Exalian battlecruiser Relentless Claw. His carapace gleamed under the cold, green lighting of the command chamber. Around him, lower-ranked officers clicked their mandibles nervously, their eyes locked on the central holoprojection. They broadcast their location without concealment, Zakvash growled, his voice thick with disbelief. Either they are prey too foolish to run, or predators confident in the kill. Sub-Commander Texlac, smaller and more agile, approached cautiously. Commander, the human vessel has not moved since entering disputed space. Their energy signatures suggest non-aggressive posture. But, their systems are fully powered. Zakvash circled the projection, watching the data streams flicker. The Defiance, he muttered, mandibles twitching. Fifth-class vessel. Lightly armed. A scout, perhaps. But why announce themselves? Texlac asked. Zakvash stopped. Either a trap, or an invitation. We will accept it. He raised a claw. Send 3 scout ships. Observe and scan. No aggression. Not yet. Within minutes, 3 Exalian scout cruisers emerged from warp and fanned out into a containment pattern around the Defiance. Aboard the human ship, Susan Wright reported the development with calm tension. 3 Exalian scouts approaching. No weapons powered. Just watching. Eric sat forward in his chair. Let them. They're curious. Commander Jack Powell crossed his arms. What if they decide to get aggressive? Then we'll see what Lighthouse can really do, Eric replied. In engineering, Chief Kelly Martinez hunched over the data display as quantum readings fluctuated. The energy routing systems are reacting to the scans, she murmured. They're growing stronger. An assistant engineer blinked. You mean their scans are charging our ship? In a way, yes. But it's deeper than that. It's like we're connecting to them. Forming a link. Back on the relentless claw, Texlac's crest pulsed with unease. Commander, our ships are detecting irregular feedback from the human vessel. Quantum interference. Zakvash hissed. Meaning? Unsure. Our scan data is being altered. But not in a destructive way. It's like, it wants to be seen. Then let us see all of it. Scan again. Full detail. Aboard the Defiance, a subtle hum filled the bridge. Captain, Daniel said quietly, we're receiving telemetry echoes. They're scanning us again. Deeper. Good, Eric said. That's exactly what Lighthouse needs. Sir, Susan cut in. We're getting energy spikes in the scouts. One of them just powered weapons. Yellow alert, Eric ordered. Hold fire. Shields up. Jack stepped beside his captain. This is it. Kelly's voice crackled in overcoms. Captain, the auxiliary core is charged. The quantum lattice is active. The scouts are all connected. We can initiate the lighthouse pulse now. Do it, Eric said. On Susan's console, a new control glowed faint blue. She tapped it. No explosion. No bright flash. Just silence. Status, Eric asked. Susan blinked at her screen. All 3 Exalian scouts are dead in the water. Their power systems are offline. Weapons, shields, propulsion, everything except minimal life support. Jack stared. What the hell did we just do? We turned their curiosity into vulnerability, Eric said softly. On the relentless claw, alarms sounded. Officers shouted. Zakvash rose with a roar. All 3 scouts disabled. What weapon did they use? Texlac scrambled. No weapon detected. Only a pulse. Harmless to our sensors, but it acted like a virus. Quantum resonance. It fed off our own scans. Zakvash growled. Open a channel. Now. A moment later, Captain Eric Morgan's face appeared on the main screen. Commander Zakvash, he said calmly. You may wish to retrieve your scouts. Their systems have been compromised. Zakvash seethed. What sorcery is this? You scanned us. The more you looked, the more vulnerable you became. Consider it a warning. You threaten the Exalian Empire with a single ship. We didn't fire a shot. But your ships are drifting, aren't they? Imagine what a full fleet could do. Zakvash snarled. You will surrender your vessel. Or be destroyed. Then I suppose we wait, Eric said. But I wouldn't recommend scanning us again. He cut the channel. On the Defiance, tension built as the alien battle group advanced. 7 more ships approaching, Susan reported. Destroyers. 1 battlecruiser. Kelly returned to the bridge. That pulse drained a lot of power from the core. We can maybe handle a few more ships. But not the whole group. Then we'll have to choose our targets, Eric said. Prepare for Wave 2. And hope our bluff holds long enough. Outside, the stars pulsed quietly. But in every Exalian war room that received the Defiance's broadcast, new fear took root. The first blow. They're splitting up, Susan reported, tension edging her voice. 3 destroyers approaching from port, 2 from starboard, and 2 descending from above. They're forming a 3-pronged attack pattern. Textbook divide and conquer, Jack muttered. They're trying to overload our response systems. Let them, Eric said evenly. They still think we're just a flashy target. Susan, keep shields at full. Weapons on standby. On the main screen, the Exalian battle group spread out across space like a net being cast. The dim blue glow of their ship's hulls shimmered with power. The lead battlecruiser Relentless Claw loomed in the background, watching. Incoming comms, Daniel called. It's Zakvash again. Put him through, Eric said. The Exalian commander appeared, mandibles sharp with disdain. You have chosen defiance, human. We will take your ship and your secrets. You already scanned us, Eric replied. How well did that work out for your scouts? You will not disable a battle fleet. We are prepared. So are we, Eric said, and ended the call. Susan, target the 3 portside destroyers with conventional weapons. Give them a reason to commit. Pulse cannons on the Defiance lit up, lancing across the void in rapid fire. The destroyers returned fire. Energy beams smashed into the Defiance's shields, rocking the bridge. Shields down to 76%, Susan called. Chief Martinez, Eric said over comms. Status of the lighthouse core. Stable for now. Quantum links are forming. Give them another 30 seconds and we'll have the 3 destroyers locked. Good. Susan, prepare to fire pulse again. As the destroyers closed in, their scanning intensified. Telemetry data flowed into the Defiance. They're feeding us everything, Jack observed. It's like watching a predator put its head in our lion's mouth. Link confirmed, Kelly's voice came through. Activate lighthouse, Eric said. Susan pressed the control. Another silent pulse radiated from the Defiance. It hit the Exalian destroyers a second later. Direct impact, Susan said. On the main screen, the 3 ships flickered. Reading full system shutdowns, she continued. Same as the scouts. Engines, weapons, shields all offline. 3 down, Jack said with awe. But there's more, Kelly broke in. Sir, the lighthouse core spiked higher than before. That hit strained our power grid. We might only get 1 more activation before risking overload. Noted, Eric replied. Let's make it count. Starboard destroyers now moving to engage, Susan said. Give them a few warning shots. No lighthouse. Let them believe we're limited. Pulse fire lit the dark. On the Relentless Claw, Zakvash roared. Again. Again the humans disable our ships. Commander, Texlac said, trying to remain composed. Our systems detected a subharmonic quantum wave, too faint to register on initial scans. They're turning our own sensors into weapons. Then stop scanning. Blind fire. Disable them through raw force. But blind weapons without telemetry were ineffective against the maneuvering Defiance. Eric exploited the gaps. Now, he said. Kelly, can we handle 4? Maybe. Not more. Target the last 2 destroyers and the battlecruiser. The relentless claw, Susan asked. Yes. If we don't weaken it now, we won't get a second chance. Links locked, Kelly confirmed. Fire. The third pulse launched. On the battlefield, the last 2 destroyers shut down instantly. But the battlecruiser only flickered, its massive systems partially resisted the link. Partial effect, Susan called. Its weapons are down, but engines and shields remain functional. Damage? None to us. But. She hesitated, Captain, the core's overheating. We can't use Lighthouse again without a cooldown. Then we go old school, Eric said. Suddenly, Daniel snapped his fingers. Sir. 2 human ships just decloaked off our starboard. Vigilance and Dauntless. Reinforcements. On screen, the 2 warships flanked the Defiance, weapons trained on the damaged Relentless Claw. Open a channel, Eric said. The face of Admiral Collins filled the screen. Captain. You demonstrated Lighthouse perfectly. We'll take it from here. With respect, sir, Eric replied. I'd like to stay in the game. Collins grinned. Then let's finish what we started. Summary. Admiral Salvek joins the Exalian battle, bringing a new class of energy-resistant warships. Protocol Lighthouse is ineffective on them. Eric coordinates with Voss and Hale to bait the new ships into scanning. Through clever timing and sacrifice of a decoy drone using Lighthouse tech, the humans reveal a hidden flaw in the Exalian systems. A massive pulse disables the second wave. Enemy reinforcements detected, Susan announced. 6 more vessels entering from deep Exalian space. Designation, Predator class. New model. Predator class, Jack frowned. We haven't encountered those before. Because they're new, Daniel confirmed. Latest intel says they're resistant to quantum disruption. Reinforced with phase-adaptive shielding. Perfect, Eric muttered. Admiral Collins, what do you think? On a split screen, Collins and Captain Voss appeared side by side. We knew they'd escalate, Collins said. This was part of the plan. They always hold back a trump card, Voss added. But so do we. Lighthouse is offline for cooldown, Kelly said, joining the feed. We'll need 10 more minutes before it can be safely activated again. We don't have 10 minutes, Jack said. They'll be in range in 4. Captain Voss, Commander Hale, Eric said. Suggestions? We used the decoy, Hale replied. We brought an unmanned drone rigged with partial lighthouse tech. It doesn't have full capabilities but can simulate a quantum core. We send it ahead, Voss continued, broadcasting fake location data. Bait the Predator-class ships into scanning. We watch, we learn. And if they take the bait? We hit them with Lighthouse as soon as the core's ready. Approved, Eric said. Launch the drone. The drone streaked forward, cloaked in the appearance of a human warship. Within seconds, the Predator-class ships shifted course toward it. They're scanning, Susan confirmed. But, Captain, they're not showing the usual link pattern. Something's absorbing the connection. They adapted, Kelly muttered. They rerouted their power systems. No centralized grid. Lighthouse can't get a grip. Can we still use Lighthouse for anything useful? Jack asked. If we overload the core during the next pulse, it might send a wider surge. Risky. It could fry our own systems too. We need to amplify it, Eric said. What if we use both Dauntless and Vigilance to resonate the signal, triangulate the pulse? Voss raised a brow. You mean link our ships via tight beam sync? Yes. Just like a tuning fork. Amplify and direct. Collins nodded. You've got one shot, Morgan. Make it count. As the Predator-class ships closed in, Susan counted down. Lighthouse core at 78%. You have a green light in 30 seconds. Drone destroyed, Daniel said. They took the bait. Still no quantum feedback. 5 seconds, Kelly said. Brace yourselves. Now, Eric ordered. Susan activated Lighthouse. Vigilance and Dauntless amplified the signal, feeding it through their own systems in a high-energy chain. Across space, the Predator-class ships faltered. One by one, their adaptive systems overloaded. Engines stalled. Shields dropped. Hulls flickered with feedback arcs. They're down, Susan cried. All 6. Disabled. Cheers erupted across the bridge. Casualties? None reported. Energy surge stable. Quantum core entering cooldown. We did it, Jack said, nearly stunned. We beat their best. Eric turned to the screen. Admiral Collins. Status of the remaining fleet? Retreating, Collins confirmed. Zakvash and his command ship just warped out. Then we're not done yet, Eric said. Bring us about. Prepare the final message. The message. The silence that followed the last battle was the kind that hung across the stars, too vast, too heavy to be natural. On the bridge of the Defiance, no one spoke. Even the hum of the system seemed subdued, respectful. Incoming transmission, Daniel finally said. Encrypted, diplomatic channel. Source, Eric asked. Exalian vessel, but not a warship. It's a courier class. Transmitting credentials for Ambassador Thalen. Jack raised a brow. That's not a name we've heard before. They're sending it as a flag of truce, Daniel added. Non-hostile contact protocol. Put it through, Eric said. On the screen appeared a new face, sleek, silver chitin, adorned in diplomatic filigree. Ambassador Thalen lacked the aggression of Zakvash, though the same species, his mandibles moved with slow precision. Captain Eric Morgan of the human ship Defiance, Thalen said. On behalf of the Exalian High Council, I request a cessation of hostilities and a parley. Terms, Eric asked, folding his hands. Acknowledgement. Dialogue. An understanding of what you have done here today. Our command seeks clarity before escalation becomes extinction. Eric nodded. I accept. Minutes later, the conference commenced in a secure comm channel. Admiral Collins joined, flanked by Captain Voss and Commander Hale. Ambassador Thalen addressed them all. What is this weapon you call Lighthouse? It is not a bomb, not a virus. It is something else. Its visibility, Eric replied. A trap that only springs when you try to understand it. It uses your curiosity against you. You did not destroy our ships, Thalen said. You could have. Why? Because Lighthouse isn't about annihilation. It's about deterrence. It's about proving that we don't have to hide. A show of strength. A message, Eric corrected. We will not cower in the shadows. We are here. We will stand our ground. And if challenged, we will make you see us. Ambassador Thalen considered that for a long moment. Then let this first scene be the beginning, he said. The High Council will send envoys to negotiate. We'll receive them, Admiral Collins said. Under neutral terms. We accept. The transmission ended. On the bridge of the Defiance, the crew waited. Orders, Captain, Susan asked. Prepare a sector-wide broadcast, Eric said. I'll record it myself. He stepped up to the central podium and activated the record channel. This is Captain Eric Morgan of the human vessel Defiance. To all who monitor these frequencies, friend, foe, unknown, we are here. We broadcast our presence not as bait, not as challenge, but as declaration. We have nothing to hide. He paused. We are not afraid. He ended the message. Transmit, he said. And across the stars, Defiance sent its location again, clear, open, unshielded. The galaxy had heard of humanity before. But now, it had seen them. The end.